Hi guys, welcome back. This is my February book haul, and I know it's March, but I purchased most of these in February, so just going to go ahead and put it under that heading. The first book I have is one that was recommended to me by Charlie over at Duvet Day Devours. She absolutely raved about this and said I had to get it. We both like a lot of the same books, so I definitely went ahead and picked up a copy of Evil Librarian by Michelle Knudsen. This is made to look like a library book, which is super cool, including the old style checkout page, and it's basically about a demon in disguise as a librarian. Our main character, Cynthia Rothschild, happens to see him transform one time into the demon, so now she has to try and prove, what she saw, basically, to the rest of the students, including her best friend, who has a crush on this librarian. He has the ability to mesmerize people with his eyes, and he is slowly drawing the life force out of the student population, so she's got to put a stop to that pretty quick. So, looking forward to reading that one. I managed to pick up another hardcover copy in the Hollow series by Kim Harrison. I'm trying to collect the entire series, and I was missing 2 up until this point, so now I'm only missing 1. This is book 3, Every Which Way But Dead. Super psyched to get a hold of this one. It is in mint condition. The only one I need now is book 4, A Fistful of Charms, so if anybody sees it while they're trolling through the web, let me know. Yeah, so I only need 1 more to complete that series. I, of course, read all of them except for the final book. The next one I picked up at work, this was sent to us from the publisher for free, and I jumped on it because it has a kind of horror theme to it, or ghostly theme. It's called The Haunting of Sunshine Girl by Paige McKenzie. It says at the bottom it's based on the YouTube web series Phenomenon, which I've never heard of, so I'm probably going to go on YouTube and check it out and see if I can track it down. But it's about a girl, Sunshine Griffith? Sunshine Griffith. She moves from a small town in Texas to a town in Washington with her mom, into a house that apparently happens to be haunted. Her mom is totally clueless, does not see anything, but Sunshine is determined to prove to her mother what she sees, so she's trying to use photography and stuff. She meets a boy at her new school who happens to have a passion for photography and ghosts, so maybe together they can kind of capture something on film, but it sounds really good, and I will be checking out the YouTube web series. The next one I got was a book from my childhood. It is a middle grade book entitled Pippi Longstocking by Astrid Lindgren. This is one of the Chalk series put out by Puffin Books, a division of Penguin. And it's about a young girl who grew up. She apparently has no parents to tell her what to do, a horse that lives on her porch, and a flair for fun that leads to adventure. Her neighbors Tommy and Annika are in for a world of excitement now that Pippi has moved to town. And I just remember it being very adventurous, very fun, and exciting, and I'm just curious to see how that'll translate to me now as an adult, and that same enjoyment will kind of come back to me. The next book I picked up at a used bookstore, but I've been wanting to pick up a copy of this for a while, and it is George Orwell's 1984. I think I read this some time ago, but it was probably way back in school that I don't really remember, but I did want to pick up a copy of this classic and give it another reread. The rest of the books are pretty much graphic novels or manga, and the first one is one that I saw on Ryan's channel at Ryan Reads Books. Recommend this one highly, and it is Nailbiter, Volume 1, a whole slew of people involved in this one. The story is by Joshua Williamson, art by Mike Henderson, and it is about a serial killer nicknamed Nailbiter because he kidnaps men and women who bite their nails, and then he waits for the nails to grow back and then chews on them all the way till he reaches the bone, and then he kills them. Really, really gruesome, I know. And so is some of the artwork. I'll show you the edited version there, but yeah. And apparently the town that this story takes place, Buckaroo, Oregon, is given birth to 16 of the vilest serial killers, and an FBI investigation is going on, and then one of the profilers for the FBI disappears, and they enlist the help of Nailbiter to kind of track down to see where all these serial killers are coming from. So, sounds pretty creepy. Pretty good artwork in there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that one. The next one I picked up solely because of the person involved, which is Robert Kirkman, the writer and creator of The Walking Dead. He's got a new series out called Outcast. This is Volume 1 entitled A Darkness Surrounds Him, and it's described as a new horror series. Kyle Barnes has been plagued by demonic possession all his life, and now he needs answers. Unfortunately, what he uncovers along the way could bring about the end of life on Earth as we know it. So it doesn't give me a whole lot to go on, but, like I said, Robert Kirkman's in it. I'm going to find out more about it. So it's just kind of the artwork. And it's a horror book, so that intrigued me right there. Then I picked up some manga. I got Nisekoi False Love Volume 4. This is by Naoshi Komi. I originally read this for the BookTube Manga Club. read the first 3 volumes, and I finally was able to get hold of copy volume 4. I think there's at least 8 of them out right now, but it's really cute, romantic comedy, very enjoyable, real lighthearted, and yeah, just really, really enjoy it. So I had to get going on that one again. Then on a darker side, I picked up Ajin Demi-Human Volume 3. This is by Gaemon Sakurai. It's about people that find out they're demi-human, which means they can't die. And they don't realize that until they're actually killed and then kind of come back. And there's a whole lot of weird things about these demi-humans that we find out throughout the story. It's just really, really intriguing. Really well put together mangas as well. Real high quality pages and covers too. I really like that. It's a little smaller scale too. It's kind of strange. Then I hit a jackpot at Half Price Books. I happened to walk in and they had 3 of the bind-ups for Full Metal Alchemist, the next 3 that I needed to collect. And that would be this one, which contains volumes 19, 20, and 21. And then 22, 23, and 24. Like 3 in 1s. And then 25, 26, and 27. So I was super happy to come across that at half price. Then I picked up at Barnes & Noble Judge Volume 6. This is the final book in this particular manga series by Yoshi Tanagi. I read the first 2 volumes, and I have the volumes 3, 4, and 5 up in here. I haven't read yet, but I think I'm going to start the whole series at the beginning and marathon it because I've kind of forgotten a lot of the details of it. Just a bunch of kids that are guilty of the 7 deadly sins, each one a different sin, and they've been kidnapped and locked up in a warehouse, and they sort of have to place judgment on each other and vote a different person up to be killed each time a certain period of time takes place. And that's about all I know. I don't remember a lot of the details of the characters, so I definitely need to start over, and I'm just going to marathon it. Then at half price I found Terraformars Volume 1. This is a sci-fi manga put up story by Yu Sasuga. It's got explicit content in there, it says, so for more mature readers. But I originally read this as an ebook ARC copy, and I wasn't too thrilled with it, honestly. It's basically about the colonization of Mars. The first mission to Mars sends out these cockroaches to kind of cover the surface and multiply and heat the surface, and then the second mission is supposed to go there and eliminate the cockroaches and stuff, but what they find, they've sort of evolved into these gigantic creatures. You can kind of see a little bit of one right there. And they're really tough to fight. They're like almost indestructible. But I didn't really like the storyline too much. And when I flipped through the actual physical copy, I noticed the dialogue seemed different. Maybe it's a question of the translation. I don't know. There seemed to be more to the story because it didn't end where the ebook copy had ended. So since this was half price, I decided to go ahead and pick up the physical copy. I've heard some good things from other viewers and other readers of it. So I thought I'd go ahead and give it a reread and see what I think about it. And then I tracked down a One Piece Volume 1 at half price. This is by Iricho Oda. And I don't really know too much about the series other than the fact that it's super long. I think it's like 60 plus volumes. And everybody seems to love it. It's like one of those classic manga you just have to read, I guess. It's about some character named Monkey D. Luffy. As a child, he was inspired to become a pirate by listening to the tales of Buccaneer Red-Haired Shanks, but his life changed when Luffy accidentally ate the fruit of the gum tree and gained the power to stretch like rubber at the cost of never being able to swim again. Years later, still vowing to become the king of the pirates, Luffy sets out on his adventure, one guy alone in a rowboat in search of the legendary One Piece, said to be the greatest treasure in the world. So it sounds really, really weird, but I'm curious. Like I said, everyone seems to be reading this or have read it or speaks really highly of it, so got it for half price. Give it a try. The very last one I have is one you've probably seen in my Friday Reads recent video, and that is Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin. This is Volume 1 by Yosuyuki Tomino. Hope I said that correctly. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the original story. This is by Yoshikazu Yasuhiko. Apparently there's an original story, because this originated as an anime, and the manga was adapted from that. So the anime was the actual source material for this. But I picked this up to read for the BookTuber Manga Club. It's our current March read. It's sort of along the lines of Transformers, a movie series that I've never been a fan of. but it's sort of sci-fi where you have a colony of humans that have moved off Earth and they're living in various spaceships that circle the planet. And one particular group of colonists, their ship is called like they're the Principality of Zeon, they're known as, and they want to break away from the Federation of Earth, and war ensues. They use these sort of mechanical suits to fight, and Earth has developed one called a Mobile Suit Gundam, which is apparently indestructible. It's just an amazing new technology and everything. And yeah, I just finished reading this one. I have to say I'm curious to see where the story goes. Some of the artwork was, although really well done, at times confusing. You have these battle scenes here where you can't really tell what's going on and who's fighting who, and is this the good guys or the bad guys. Once I started getting into the middle of it, following more of the various characters and learning more about them, I begin to like some of the characters and want to find out more. So I'm hoping that this is just sort of an intro to it, and it'll kind of develop more with those characters. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, that's my book haul for February. Let me know if you guys have read any of these below and what you thought of them. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.